Yeah, good to be here as always, Al. I can only say what a pleasure it is to have you back in the booth, my friend. I don't mind taking over the reins when I have to, but look, we all know who's in charge here, and we're all glad to have you back. It does, and this car has been pretty great this season in terms of overall grip and handling and everything, but the few recon laps I got around here and then talking with the grid a bit, Al, it's a little tough. It's a little tenacious. You have to be careful with the car around this place, or you are going to bang off a couple walls if you aren't careful. Yeah, he's not going to be the only one with weight. There's all of his competitors are going to have weight out there coming through the couple turns 3 and 4 as well. A lot of chicanes around this place basically, and none more so important than here. I think this is through the 5 and 6 complex, something like that. Very difficult to get on the power around here because these guys are not running much aero, and I think that was the big discussion around here is the 0 and 1 front wing, 0 front wing, something like that. Another kind of relatively high-speed chicane here. Most of the guys here in second. This car actually doesn't operate very well low in the rev range, and these guys got to get the gearing just right around here. It's kind of tricky. So now at the hairpin, definitely first gear corner for these guys, coming on the long back straight, so only one chicane to go from here. But the car setup, I was trying to get to it, the car setup, a little tricky around here. The curbing really not so lovely to really pound off with this low aero setup, and just kind of going to be a difficult, kind of tricky night for these guys. Coming into the hairpin now, you can get away with some late braking, but it's all about taking the curbing and getting it right, though, when you do. Oh, a little scrub up of all champions there for Kevin, but overall, perhaps not too bad a lap.
Okay, hopefully that's better. My God, I've been talking all this time, and well, what a big waste that was. Sometimes that's how it goes, but these settings tend to change themselves sometimes. But what I was saying is one of the only drivers of the 3 drivers in the championship in contention here tonight, carrying the least amount of weight, but he's about, I think he was 16 points behind the 2 guys ahead of him, so he's going to really need some luck here tonight in order to really win this thing. But I think primarily it's going to come down to Taylor, who is currently slotted into 7th, and Lemansky, who's jumped up to 4th, 5/10 off of Parsons. But Lemansky really needs, it's an important qualifying session for him.
You know, it's 3 points between top two, Taylor and Lickmansky. So definitely doable for Lickmansky. You're right. DeGraw needs a little bit of help further back, but but Taylor does have an immense amount of weight, and that is going to hurt him around this place. Not only in terms of the top speed, which we know is important around here, but handling as well. So I'm not going to say it's out of the question for DeGraw to have an outside shot at this.
Let's see. Looks like these guys are on outlaps. Parsons, meanwhile, he is starting a flyer here on provisional pole by just under 2/10.
Boy, Parsons was looking pretty good in terms of practice times as well. So Parsons could be a threat for the win, and that would be some cold comfort, but some comfort nonetheless for. Looks like Parsons going to come up a little bit short in the Season 34 championship.
Yeah, he's out of it here. Last week was eliminated from contention, but still a good season for him and his team. His team is in 2nd at the moment. But yeah, I went through description here at the start, but my mic was not working. So this is round 12, the finale here for Monday night. The open wheel series here at North American Grand Prix. Parsons up 3/10 here in the first sector. But these guys driving the Lotus 79 mod for Assetto Corsa. So this is a Formula car. It's a lot of the guys really enjoy it. I mean, you can really throw them around, slide them around, and they're pretty responsive.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And again, usually that is, Parsons gets it a little on the wall. Yeah, but this track, it does have some challenges with that low downforce as Parsons goes to the top.
Pick up some time there, regardless of the hit. Yeah, I drove it at Monza a few weeks ago, and in that race, and yeah, I mean, they will get away from you if you're not. You gotta respect them a little bit. You can't just. You can whip them around a bit, but you gotta be have a little respect for them. But they're a lot of fun, definitely, to drive around. Braking was pretty tricky for me some spots at Monza, and it's kind of a similar setup in these cars, given the low downforce, and you want to obviously carry as much speed as you can around here. But like you said, Brad, some of these chicanes you really need that added wing to get through. But
yeah, I think they're going to want a little bit more front grip, right, to try to get through some of those high-speed sections. A little bit more important here than it is at Monza. And I think that's what the guys were struggling with notably, is trying to get the car to turn a little bit, but with already having the low downforce, the rear is really getting light on them. So I think that's what the guys were struggling with. But you know what? As always, some guys are going to figure it out. And hey, after all, one of these 20 drivers tonight is going to win this race. So somebody's going to get it figured out.
So DeGraw lost a bit of time there in the second sector. Meanwhile, Parsons improves yet again. These guys all are going to be on the soft tires. In fact, it's probably going to be the soft tires for the race, as DeGraw does improve, but not in his position. Right now it is Parsons who's in the pits, and his teammate John Houston running 1 and 2. Lemansky currently in 4th, and he is on a flyer. But this track doesn't generate much heat. So it looks like the soft tire compound's the way to go. The hard compound is sacrificing too much speed. So it's not going to be worth using. It looks like most guys are going to be on a 2-stop strategy here tonight.
Yeah, that was the general kind of consensus around the paddock. I don't want to give anything away in case one of these guys is listening in, but I think you're absolutely right. You can't even make up the speed on track by eliminating one of those pit stops. You just lose too much on the hards without that lap-to-lap pace. Al.
So Mansky coming out of the pits. Track's pretty quiet right now. Mose is exiting. Taylor exiting. Taylor 1.2 off the pace. Be interesting to see what Taylor does here tonight. He's going to want to qualify probably within the top 5, but he may have a bit of a conservative setup here tonight to get him through and hopefully hang on to that win.
Yeah. I don't know if conservative is going to be good enough, Al. I mean, Lekmansky has shown too much pace too often. I mean, he won last week needing to win to really kind of basically pull neck and neck with Taylor for the championship, right? And he got it done. So you got to figure Lekmansky's a threat here tonight too. I think it's got to be game on if you're Matt Taylor.
I agree 100%. As Jake Feebster is bit off here in sector 1, making his way through the hairpin. I think that's turn 10. Down in the second sector. Jake has been showing some really quick pace here in the last couple weeks, but appears to be a little off here tonight. As Zahn qualified second last week at the Glen.
Yeah, I was right up there. Was really in a podium position there for much of that race. Just slipped back, ran into a little bit of trouble, some contact late. I think even a late pit stop. It really came unraveled for Zahn late in the race, but man, showing some great signs of life. Really storming toward that first podium.
So Greg Myers currently in 11th. Joel Ekman with his first career podium finish last week, finishing third at the Glen, and currently running in 13th. And man, he's probably been the most impressive driver this season, I would have to say. He's had some really great runs.
Clearly, I mean, he was up there in this championship fight midway through the season, right? I mean, Zahn has really turned it on toward the last half of this season, but I think Ekman has been, a pretty surprising constant, right from the jump. And we knew that he was fast. He just hadn't been up among like the top 5 consistently until this season. So yeah.
Let's see what Ekman can do here, carrying 10 kilograms of ballast. Follow him around into turn 1.
I think you're absolutely right. Maybe he's got a little bit of weight strapped on there, but maybe he's still riding the high off that podium last week, because it was, and he was in there for a legitimate shot at that win too. So basically, right up until the last let's call it 10 laps or so, he definitely was in there fighting for the win.
Looks like he's fighting the car right now as second off in the first sector.
Well, he passed Parsons there through I don't know, whatever it is, 5 and 6 or 6 and one of the two, I don't know, but Parsons, boy, half second out front right now. That's pretty good.
Yeah, those two guys really got this thing figured out. Currently, they are, well, Parsons especially, with him and his teammate, holding the top 2 positions for the time being. The ground not far off of Houston. As he is just behind Ekman on track. So if Ekman can move up here, he's clean through the final chicane. Stays really off the wall of champions and does not improve. Meanwhile, Lekmansky, he does improve his time, but remains in 4th. Taylor, meanwhile, on a flyer.
Well, look at it this way. If you're Kevin Lekmansky right now, sitting 4th, they were to finish that way at the end of this race, that'd give Lekmansky enough points to win this championship, right? Him relative to where Taylor's at back there in 7th right now, they finish that way. It's Lekmansky's championship.
Yeah.
Or am I getting ahead of? I'm getting ahead of myself.
A little bit, but. I mean, Lekmansky for sure is going to need some help. He's going to need guys to stay on track and finish ahead of Matt. That's what he's hoping for. You don't want to see guys get in trouble, but that's got to be in his head as well. So Taylor 1.2 off in the second sector. And you got to wonder how much Taylor and DeGraw shared information this week, if at all. As they've already locked up the team championship, and now this is an individual battle here between Taylor and DeGraw. So who knows? I certainly don't think team orders are going to be in place, but who knows? As DeGraw is up in the first sector.
Yeah, I would kind of tend to think that DeGraw would help out, give him the opportunity. But I suppose you're right. It's possible. Mark just kind of strikes me as the type of guy who is. But who knows? If that championship's staring you there in the face, maybe you gotta jump up and snag it.
Ooh, nice second sector for DeGraw. This is going to be close here. It's going to come down to this final chicane. How cleanly he gets through it.
Yeah, he's certainly in line for second at the moment, isn't he? I mean, at least. Maybe not great, but not horrible.
No. Ooh, yep. And he splits the T-Brock Dam Bam drivers. No. Nice lap. Lemansky, meanwhile, a 10th off in the first sector. I got a feeling that weight is not really going to help him too much here in the second sector. But he's about to cross the split. And 8/10 off in the second sector.
Yeah, ouch.
Miller jumps up a spot. He's up to 5th now. Second through that final corner is Lemansky. And Kevin does not improve. So 7 minutes 20 left to go in this final qualifying session of season 34. Should be noted that these guys are going to have to keep at least one of the tires on the curbing, and there's a couple spots where you can really take liberties at some of these corners on the inside. So these guys are going to want to maintain at least one of these tires on the candy cane curbing, striped curbing right there. Looks like most of these guys are doing a really good job. Ooh, Parsons blasts the wall. These guys doing a good job of that so far.
Yeah, very good point, Al. I certainly don't want, your championship or possible win or something taken away because of going on cuts. Also should be noted, really, it was Lemansky and Taylor both at the same amount of weight. I thought Lemansky had a few kilos less, but yeah, both carrying that 40 kilograms. So even up on weight, Lemansky and Matt Taylor are two championship competitors, but Lemansky quite a bit a ways up the grid versus Taylor at the.
Well, John Wathen clocks in with a best. Good enough for 10th. Big slide for Lemansky exiting the final corner. This is going to be a good lap for him. Ooh, slips to 3rd. Very nice lap. So bumping Houston now down to 4th. Oh, big slide by Houston exiting final chicane, and he is not going to improve. I think the key to a fast lap here, we saw Parsons hit the wall of champions on exit. That may be the way to go.
Yeah, maybe. I suppose if you stay clean, it might slow you down, huh? I think looking at it, maybe it's the second sector that you guys are really having to nail to put in that great lap. I saw Lemansky the lap prior to the one he just turned in, right? 8/10 off there. To the second sector, and I've seen that from quite a few guys. I think that's the one they're really having to nail to be able to get his lap. And it's a long one, actually. The second sector is very long around here. I mean, it ends basically right before the last chicane.
So let's see what Miller can do here as he is approaching the hairpin. Very slow first gear corner.
And
Moses, meanwhile, jumps up to 5th, bumping Miller back a spot.
He can respond right here, right now. Oh yeah, he banged off the wall a little bit there. I think Al might help him out.
No, not tonight. But he is donning the Gilles Villeneuve Ferrari fitting.
Oh yeah,
fitting livery for this track. So meanwhile, Parsons, who is your current provisional pole sitter, has not been able to improve on his time yet. He's still hanging on to that first spot, but behind here. Looks like these guys, it's taken a couple laps to get the heat into the tires. I think a lot of these guys doing multiple lap qualifying runs, at least out lap and two flying laps. Taylor, meanwhile, improves to 6th.
Aha, there he is. Okay, that's a little bit better. I don't think Parsons has improved, very consistently over that 26.2 because, frankly, it's just a really good freaking time. I think, honestly, I think that's a very stout time. That's why he's having trouble improving upon it. But hey, 3 minutes left to go.
Let's see where he winds up here. He is up in sector 1. DeGraw behind is just a 10th off in the first sector. Oh, it looks like DeGraw's pulling off track.
Yeah, that 26.2 of Aaron Parsons, definitely the best on the server that we've seen.
And he is up in the second sector. David Zahn. Not sure if he was letting him by or what, but tucked up behind him here. Very good through the final chicane. This is going to be potential improvement here for Parsons. And he does improve. It's barely. 126.219. I think his previous best was a 220, I think.
Yeah, he lowered it by
244. Got by 200 of a second.
Something like that, yeah. Not much, but pick what you can get.
So very nice lap there from Parsons. DeGraw on and out lap. Lemansky on and out lap as well. Well, no, he's on a flyer. Let's jump on board with Kevin. See where he is here after the first sector.
Well, so currently third. He would sure like to get up there and... Oh, yeah. So he's on a good first sector anyway, but it's important. If he gets stuck behind DeGraw or something, well, that's a guy who's fighting for the championship. Going to be pretty tough to get by DeGraw if you're Lekmansky. And yeah, DeGraw could play spoiler to Lekmansky for his teammate Taylor.
That's true, too. I forgot about that. So this second sector has been tough for Lemansky. Ooh, big slide on exit.
Oh, man. That is going to hurt.
Let's lose some time there.
Oh,
You could pick up a lot of time through this final chicane if you get it right. But it is challenging.
Well, it looked good, but that's a lot of time to gain.
Okay, no improvement there from Lemansky. He is done. DeGraw, meanwhile, what can he do here?
Looking pretty nice and tidy. Actually took a lot of the second part of that chicane, which I had not seen a lot of other drivers do. Car looked pretty stable over that, actually.
Wathen improves again up to 8th. And DeGraw up. Well, I'm sorry, not up. He's behind again in the second sector. It does not look like he's going to make up that time here through the final chicane.
Right on his split time, so it would take something pretty remarkable, I think, for the last chicane, but actually his performance delta is ahead, Al.
So he does improve. Moses, meanwhile, improves to third with a last second heroic there lap. And yeah, he jumps up to third. Taylor, meanwhile, 2/10 behind the first sector.
Yeah, can Taylor do something late?
Session is done.
I think Taylor is on a flyer though. He may be the last to act.
I think you're right. Let's see what he does here through his final chicane. Pretty tight.
Good.
He's going to have to pick up a couple tenths, though, on Houston. He does not. So Taylor does improve his time, but he's going to have to settle for sixth. So Taylor, just over a tenth off Lemansky in this qualifying session, but it is Aaron Parsons, your pole sitter here tonight at Montreal. So great job by Aaron. DeGraw slots into second. And that's all she wrote for this qualifying session. It's going to be 46 laps here at Montreal. Now let's take a look at some the current standings here on Monday night. Excuse me. All right, here we go. It is Matt Taylor leading with 190 points. Lemansky in second with 187, and there's DeGraw a bit off there with 174 points. Those three are in contention at the moment for the Drivers' Championship. Aaron Parsons in fourth with 162. He falls just short, a couple points short of being in the mix here. In the team championship, it is Captain Clutch Racing. That is Taylor and DeGraw clinching the team championship. It's their first team championship on Monday nights. I think they first formed as a team last season, so this is a great result, great season for those two guys. T-Brock Dam Bam should finish here in second, but Squeaky Wheel still has a chance to nip them, but a bit of a long shot. So T-Brock Dam Bam, that's Parsons and John Houston in second. And Squeaky Wheels, that's Jake Feemster and Kevin Lemansky currently in third with 259. Now the other championship we need to take a look at here, Brad, is the competition index, right? So competition index is the championship for the driver that covers the most distance in a season. So right now it is Kevin Lemansky who has covered all through 11 races, all 457 laps, including one-time qualifying lap for each race. So all 457 laps, 2,257.316 kilometers for Lemansky. Houston in second. He's just like 3.6 kilometers off, one lap down. And Taylor in third behind about 6 kilometers off of Lemansky. So that's a cool prize. That goes doesn't necessarily go to the fastest or the quickest driver out on track. It just rewards finishers, I should say, guys who stick with it and try and complete as many laps as they can. So good target for these guys to shoot for at the start of each season. So looks like it should end up with Lemansky, barring any issues here tonight. As long as he finishes on the lead lap, he should have that locked in. Now, however, the one caveat is if Lemansky or if anybody does win either the team or the Drivers' Championship along with the competition index. You can't win both. So this competition index would go to the next guy on the list. So right now it would be Houston. So if Lemansky wins the title here tonight, the prize would go to Houston. So
Houston is a Lekmansky fan tonight.
yes, he is, for sure. He wants Lemansky to win that title so he can get that competition index prize. So, so a lot going on here tonight, Brad. And
Oh boy.
okay, only a minute and change here to go. So why don't we run down the starting order for tonight's race? It is going to be Aaron Parsons starting from pole, native of Australia, followed by the Canadian Mark DeGras in his home track, and in third, Chris Moses. Kevin Lemansky is going to start in fourth, and John Houston in fifth.
Yeah, Matt Taylor's going to start sixth. Kevin Miller, nice run up for Kevin Miller, also a fellow Canadian, starting seventh. John Wathen is in eighth. David Zahn's in ninth, and Jake Feimster's in 10th.
Iggy Chiordia, the Argentinian, starting in 11th. Greg Myers starting in 12th. Joel Ekman 13th. Sam Rolfe's going to start in 14th, and David Rowley making the start here tonight in 15th.
Nice. Dale Baldwig's going to take 16th. Chuck Carter's in 17th. Brian Story is in 18th. And that is it. 18 of the finest tonight, Al.
Yeah, we got a couple guys couldn't make it for tonight's race, but this finale. But nonetheless, good field here tonight. And it's going to be an interesting first lap here. Those first few corners are very tight. These guys are gonna have to be on their best behavior, Brad.
That's right. And you may want to be careful when you exit the pits, Al.
And we are green from Montreal. Great start from Aaron Parsons. As we watch the field enter turn one. Looks like a pretty clean start from the front runners. Parsons still hanging on to that lead. Moses in third. DeGras in second. Moses continues to hold third position here. So I don't think there's been any change in the starting order here, Brad. I think Taylor picked up a spot.
Maybe Taylor picked up one spot over Houston, and pretty much all the way back they're still in line, Al. So whoa! Actually, Carter does have a bit of a spin, but Story goes by, and that's it. That's the only change as far as I can see. Right at the tail end.
Guys make their way through the hairpin. Looking pretty clean. See Moses with a run on DeGras as they approach the Wall of Champions. Great start from the field, Brad.
Very clean first lap, Al.
Ooh.
Everybody through.
Oh, it showed DeGras out in the lead for a moment there, the timing glitch. Yeah, it is Parsons leading the way here.
Yeah, so Kemp talked about Ezra taking away the bonus point for pole, and I suppose if you're Lekmansky, you'd like to be out front, but if you're not, I suppose you might as well have Ezra take it away so Taylor can't get it. But it's Lekmansky over Taylor. Right now, it's Taylor's championship if they run as they are right now. I'm going to be saying that a lot. I know. But I just can't help myself. This is what I'm going to be watching, Al.
Yeah, Lemansky is going to need to pick up some positions here, at least two. Actually, yeah, at least a couple positions here as Moses runs it a little wide, but it's going to hang on to that third position. Rest of the field looking still running lockstep here. David Zahn up to ninth. Iggy Chiordia actually running on board with David Zahn. Miller and Wathen up ahead. Wathen getting the pass made. Miller getting all crossed up there on the chicane, and that allows David Zahn past. Now the field's really bunching up here. John Houston now closing up on Matt Taylor.
Yeah, I was looking around to see if they were getting bottled up because somebody was on the hards, but really, I only see two, and they're right at the back of the field. Brian Story and Chuck Carter, basically in the last couple spots. Actually, just Brian Story, I think, is the only driver on the hards.
So it looks like, I know we talked about it briefly, but it looks like this is going to be a two-stop race for these guys. As Houston has a look on the inside of Taylor at, I believe, this casino. Taylor with a big moment, and that's going to give Houston a run here into the hairpin.
Yeah, interesting. Taylor really dove to the outside right away after that mistake.
Taylor does not put up a fight, allows Houston past.
I mean, just basically pulled over right away to get Houston past. So that was interesting. A
little further back, these guys are really bunched up here. Ekman, Miller.
Whoa, Ekman, some defensive swerving there.
Yeah, defending the inside here, entering the chicane. It's going to be dives in front of Kevin Miller at the braking zone into the final chicane. Miller may get a run on Ekman here going into turn one. Going to have a look. He does, but there's nothing there.
So easy to make so easy to make a dive bomb move into turn one. So I think probably good call there on Kevin Miller's part to back off a little early. But Kevin Miller, he did start up there in what, 7th or 8th, so he has given up some spots here at the start.
Yeah, he has. He's got good pace, so expect him to make some moves. Oh, big moment for Lemansky. He got all swirly there for a moment, nearly clipped the wall.
So important to keep the car clean here. If you're you have championship hopes, but 40 kilos, it's got to be tough for those guys. Him and Taylor in particular.
So look for these guys to pit around lap 15, 16, somewhere around there. So get an intel as to how far they can go before the soft start to degrade.
Yeah, no, the only sense I got was that you're going to be taking a real risk if you try to stretch your softs to halfway, because I guess they really don't hold up that long, and you're going to have to start really degrading your lap-to-lap pace just to kind of keep it on track, right, to be safe. But that doesn't mean somebody won't try it. Taylor, maybe, I don't think he's looking off pace, maybe, but I'm not saying he is, but I think we can expect the majority of the field to do two stops tonight. It's a dangerous track. I think they're going to want to keep their tires in good shape. They're going to want as much grip as they can get out there.
So we're watching on board here with John Houston as he's trying to put the heat on Kevin Lukmansky for 4th.
Yeah. It'd be a pretty cagey veteran move if you're Matt Taylor to, if you make a small mistake, just to kind of pull over and let Houston through, because maybe you recognize that Houston has much better pace, and he can really harry Lukmansky for you, right? Maybe Taylor was thinking something about that.
Houston having a look on the inside.
Because right now, Lukmansky looks a little harried, I have to say.
Looks like Houston's going to get a tow on Lemansky here down the straight. Looks like it's going to be advantage. Well, looks like Lemansky's going to hang on to it. Oh, and Houston gets it wrong. He gets into the wall of champions. He's got suspension damage.
Oh, I think that broke on the first little minor hit. Because it's the way it shot across the track. I mean, that was like a nothing hit, but I think the suspension broke.
Yeah, that thing is dead. Can't try to get it straightened out, but he might be done. He is done. That's game over for John Houston.
What a disappointing end to that. I mean, clearly it's disappointing.
So with that goes the competition index hopes. All right, so now it's imperative imperative for Lemansky to finish ahead of Chris Moses here. That's a couple extra points for third. Things are really heating up now. So if Lemansky does get ahead of Moses, Lemansky would get 18 points. Taylor, 14 points if he would have finished where he is now. So championship would be Lemansky's.
Yeah, but come on, 40 kilos versus Chris Moses with no weight. I mean, look, if Chris Moses is half dead and had 3 laps of practice only in qualifying, it just seems unlikely, but maybe?
Let's see, Jake with the overtake on Greg. Nice pass.
Yeah, that was a nice pass, because Myers has also been showing some pretty damn good pace in these cars as well. Speedster actually went out, didn't make it through the first lap last week, got involved in a pretty heinous accident there early on. So
Miller's showing some signs of damage there to the front of nose of his car, so I wonder what happened to him. Wheels kind of, this race is coming unglued here after, what was it, lap 2. Meanwhile, Rolf is closing up on Greg as well. Working lap 7 of 46.
Yeah, missed unfortunately Joel Ekman and David Rowley going out of this race as well. So, yeah, 3 cars down already. It's a big hit when you start with only 18 out.
So I gotta wonder if there was some contact there between Houston and Lemansky. I don't believe so.
It looked pretty clean to me. I was on board with Houston actually at the time.
I think emotions are getting hot right now in the Houston camps. I'm not sure how that transpired, but yeah, nonetheless, Lemansky ended up on top there. Meanwhile, Moses continues to run in third, has put a little bit of a gap between himself and Lemansky. Run down the running order here as we work lap 8. Parsons is leading by 3.7 seconds over DeGraw in second. Moses back there in third. Moses with a very disappointing season this past season, but showing some good pace here tonight. Kevin Lemansky is in fourth. Taylor now running in fifth. John Watson in the 6th position. David Zahn. Some of these guys further back showing some signs of damage to their car. David Zahn running in 7th. I think it's Giordia. He knows that his car looks a little off, but actually, it might be the angle. He is running in 8th. Jake Feemster in 9th. Gregory Myers running in 10th as he's trying to fend off Sam Rolfe here for that 10th position. Let's ride on board here with Rolfe, see if he can get the job done.
Yeah, Rolfe's been challenging for that position for the last 5 or 6 laps. He's been right there.
And Rolfe's gonna take it. Rolfe now up to 10th. Myers to 11th. Kevin Miller behind these guys in 12th. Dale Ballweg running in 13th. Getting chased down by Brian Story in 14th. Chuck Carter running in 15th. We've had 1, 2. Oh, Ekman's out too. I did not even see that.
Yeah, yep.
Oh, that's unfortunate. So we got 3 retirements. We'll not see what happened to Ekman. That's interesting.
Yeah, I completely missed it as well.
Let's see if we can. So, yeah, Ekman has taken himself out of the championship for the competition index. Houston's taken himself out. So right now, as Ballweg looking to get past Story, and looks like he has gotten past these guys. Dicing it out here back for 14th. Parsons sets fast lap of the race.
It actually is not a bad little battle going on toward the back of the field. And I don't know, Brian Story on the hards, maybe that's a pretty good advantage. Maybe he can pick up some positions from there if he, employs a little bit of strategy. He's the only one on the hard, so maybe a switch to the softs, with the late stop. Who knows?
Kevin Miller all over the back of Greg Myers going into turn 1. Okay, so if Lemansky wins the title, considering the 2 retirements we just had by Houston and Ekman, in the competition index, Lemansky would be disqualified because he's won the title. Taylor and DeGraff would be eliminated because they won the team championship. They can't win the competition index. Houston, who was in 2nd, and Ekman, who was in 4th. The title would go to Gregory Myers. So, right now, someone's got to get the word out to Greg and tell him he's got to keep it together here. Whoa, it's Kevin Miller nearly sends Greg packing there for a butt. Greg's going to try and hold on to this position here, but I don't think he's got it as Miller is going to get that overtake made.
Don't usually have to send the word out to Greg Myers to keep it safe and on track, but maybe in this case, somebody should tell him.
Oh, yeah, good move there by Greg. That was a very ballsy move from Kevin Miller. But this fight is still going here, folks. It's still side by side into 1. Something's got to give. Oh, and it's Kevin Miller on the outside of turn 1, getting the pass made.
Whew.
Oh, there you have it. So, Greg Myers now in line to win this competition index. Should Lemansky bring it home? I wonder if these guys knew that before they pulled the chute. Oh, Ekman. Blaming the wife. Taylor Moses has given up 3rd to Lemansky. So now Taylor is on the outside looking in this team championship. I mean, in this drivers' championship. And wow, so that must have been, not sure if that was a mistake from Moses or what, but keep in mind, Taylor and Moses were team championships. They had a big breakup a couple seasons ago.
Oh, yeah.
Moses was in line to win the Drivers' Championship, needed some help from his teammate, didn't get it. So you got to wonder if that's playing a role here.
But
Well,
yeah, those guys, they were the dominant team in recent history.
Moses sliding that thing around here, but one of these drivers have, including myself, very long memories. So, who knows what's going through his head right now. All right, so Taylor is closing up on Moses. This may come down to pit strategy here. What lap these guys do decide to come in. Lemansky's got about a second and change up over Moses, who's running now in 4th. And closing up on this battle is John Watson, the wild card. He is now closing up on Matt Taylor.
Yeah, a wild card he is indeed. I mean, not only on track, but off track as well. So yeah, he's got to be thinking it. Watson has come up with some damn decent results this season. Kind of, you'd like to think, boy, but for a little bit more consistency, Watson really could have done something. I mean, just in the overall championship, right? But he's certainly doing something again here tonight.
Word from the pit lane is Ekman, his crew chief. His crew chief made some mistake and was forced to retire the car, his crew chief being his wife. Reset his router, and that's game over.
Rolf into the pits. First to act.
When in doubt, blame the crew chief. So, this is the most interesting battle right now. It is Taylor and Moses. Taylor has been creeping up here on Moses. Let's look at these lap times here. 128, oh yeah, 132.5 for Moses on lap 9. So definitely some type of mistake. And then settled back down into the 28s. Was Moses. Taylor, meanwhile, his best lap, 28. So running similar lap times. Lemansky up ahead again. All these guys running similar lap times. DeGrom, meanwhile, in the 27th, so he's running good. And Parsons, he's pretty much matching Parsons' pace so far is DeGrom.
Yeah. So you mentioned all those guys. I'm going to go one or two positions just further back there and talk about Iggy Shordia for a second. So running 8th right now matches his would be his best run of the season, and he's been looking very sharp over the last couple 3 weeks. So Iggy really running well and truly inside the top 10 on merit the last 3 weeks. So Iggy's good strong run here late in the season continues.
No, his strong run doesn't. It's not only here. It is also on Thursday nights. He has been showing some great pace in both leagues, and that is great to see from Iggy. And Omar as well has been doing quite well.
Yep.
So nice to see those guys. Too bad Omar not here. Had some family obligations. So Moses now. Oh, things tightening up here between the top.
Really, all the way to
3, 2, 5. Yep.
Lawton just, he's definitely got Taylor up ahead in sight. So
see, the pit window is open for these guys.
Yeah.
And fuel delivery time plays a big role here, folks. So whoever can keep it out the longest is going to spend the least amount of time in the pit lane.
Yeah, and we'll know, if they take it like to lap 18 or 20, would think that would indicate trying to go halfway on the softs. Again, don't expect anybody to do it, but it wouldn't surprise me if one or two, took a chance.
Moses looks like he is really spiking the car. Oh, Taylor with a moment. Taylor is off. He has killed the car.
Oh.
He has killed the car and his championship. That's it. It's over. He is in disbelief right now. You can just see it. Just one little mistake, he is done. There's your championship right there. So
yeah, Lekmansky, Lekmansky's got to stay off the walls too now, though, right?
That's it. So he's got to get. I don't know if he's trying to get that thing fired back up, but he has got to get that thing off track.
It's hard to. It's hard to leave it. Yeah, the motor's not working, but you don't want to. Yeah.
Yep, he's done. He's done. So Parsons in the pits. That's it. Parsons in. DeGrasse stays out. I say DeGrasse still has a chance at this, folks. If something happens to Lemansky.
Yeah. And that's what I was saying, because Lekmansky, he needs to not suffer the same fate as Taylor, right? He still has to survive. If he goes out, then it's definitely it is on DeGraw after that, right?
Hey Matt, get your car off the track. All right, so Parsons, sorry, I had to tell Matt to get his car off track. So Parsons rejoins in 5th, right ahead of David Zahn. So that was just a situation where he, like we talked, the walls are a fact. They got the wall of champions, and then that, I think it exited turn 4, 5, something like that. The wall right there plays a big role, and he hit it just right. Saw the same thing happen to John Houston.
Yeah.
And Taylor just I understand it. His utter disbelief. And there's nothing he can do about it.
Yeah, and
Moses
I mean, what was
in, DeGraw in, Lemansky in. So DeGraw may be able to pull some time on Parsons. DeGraw is away. Parsons just cross start finish. See if DeGraw picks up any time. Zahn, meanwhile, has not pitted yet.
Zahn is pushing it.
So, yeah, DeGraw did pick up some time on Parsons.
Yeah, that gap was about 4.5 seconds, 5 seconds, something like that. So yeah, a little bit.
What a stunning turn of events here tonight, folks. Our championship leader out with a mistake, hitting the wall, and this is right in his pit window too. Right around it was lap 15 or 16. He was probably coming in.
I wonder if there wasn't something about that going on, right? Thinking about the pit stop coming up, maybe losing focus for half a second, maybe thinking, well, shoot, I have enough fuel, I can take it one lap, deeper than I thought, maybe something like that. So it's possible, right? But what a blow! Hey, we didn't mention it last week, Al. It was just me on broadcast, It's Captain Clutch Racing. Big congrats to those guys. They did lock up. So Matt Taylor and Mark DeGraw, of course, those guys did lock up the season team championship. Congrats to those guys. So he's got that. He's got that to take with him, right?
He certainly does. Okay, so let's figure some stuff out here, Brad. Let's bring up my standings. Oh.
Yes.
So Lemansky, okay, pits are settled. Moses comes out.
Round.
Yep, comes out behind Kevin. So just about where they came in, about the same gap. Jake is in now. Watson has moved up to 5th. Would need this win, so he's got to get those extra points for the win.
Four extra points for the win.
He's got to make up 16 points somehow.
Yeah.
Right now, it's not happening.
Lemansky basically needs to do it.
It's fine right here. He's got Moses up his tailpipe. He can just let Moses by. Just go ahead, Chris. Finish the. Go ahead. I don't need to finish.
Oh, you can slip back a ways. Oh yeah.
So it doesn't make sense for Lemansky to fight the position.
Yeah. 16 points is a bunch, and I got to be honest with you. I mean, Parsons looks like he's pretty much just managing the pace at the front. I think if DeGraw were to make inroads, then Parsons might. I think he definitely could actually push for a little extra if he had to. So, I don't think DeGraw is like he's certainly got a shot for the win, but it's I think it's advantage Parsons.
So, Greg Myers is currently in line to win the competition index, folks. After
he was so disappointed a couple races back.
After Joel,
thinking that he had no shot.
Yeah, after Joel Ekman, the crew chief, made a terrible mistake, terrible call, and ended his race. And then John Houston with his terminal failure at the Wall of Champions has opened the door for Greg to win it. And Greg has won it a number of times. As Moses now having a look on the inside of Lemansky. Lemansky is... he's fighting that spot. He doesn't need to.
Yeah, he never backs off, Al. And I'm not saying he should or shouldn't. I'm just saying he never does. I mean, we've seen him in big points paying positions before, just not, and with the ability to kind of give some up.
Well, let's cut him some slack here. Kevin hasn't been in this position before in terms of, fighting for a championship. I don't think he even expected this to happen, and it's great that he's in this position. But who knows if he's done all the calculations in his head and where he needs to finish, and who's going to do what, and this and that. I know Taylor. I know he is very methodical when it comes to that stuff and what needs to get done. And so he knew what he had to do, but this is uncharted waters here for Lemansky.
Yeah, and again, I'm not going to call it right or wrong. I think it's fine. I mean, after all, guy's leading the championship, so he knows what he's doing better than I do, right? I'm just saying, if you have the positions to give up, I'm playing it safe. If like you say, if I happen to know that. But yeah, Moses starting to show some signs of life now. Is looking kind of, I mean, not slow, but boy, he did give up the position to the guy with 40 kilos, right? So looking kind of slow.
I know what I'd be doing in this situation.
Me too.
So looking further back, Greg Myers and Sam Rolfe.
Now, Myers is the last car on the lead lap now. Does that play anything if Myers loses a lap?
Let's check it out. Let's go back to our competition index.
I mean, we're assuming he's going to hang on to the lead lap, but that's kind of getting kind of close at this point, honestly. Greg has not shown great pace.
He's got quite a few kilometers up on Aaron Parsons, so he could finish 3 laps down.
Oh, okay, wow, okay.
All right. His closest battle on track, working lap 22 of 46. Guys probably coming around lap 31, something like that.
Yeah, thereabouts. They took the most everybody took the long stop first, right, or the long run first. Ooh, Sam, I'm watching that battle there, Myers, Rolfe. I'm getting a little squirrely coming up to the hairpin.
So we'll have a conversation with our race winner and our driver and team championship winners following this race. At least one of the team championship members. I don't know. The other one may have poured himself a tall glass of something. Which is completely understandable.
Absolutely. Though, we may have time to fill if he's around. I maybe give him a couple more minutes to cool off. We could take a chance on him. And
so he takes it wide. He still has that Thursday championship in line. He's leading in that as well. So it's not all doom and gloom for Matt Taylor.
No, not at all. And by the way, again, coming away with that team championship in pretty dramatic fashion, really. They had to fight for that and did fight for it brilliantly and wrapped it up last week at Watkins. So, hey, that's a big deal.
Watson, meanwhile, is starting to close the gap up on these guys He has been running some good laps here. The 28's kind of matching pace with Moses. Moses, another bad lap for 130.
Yeah.
So gave up some time to Watson. And Lemansky running consistently in the 28s. The guys up ahead. Now DeGraw just dipped into the 27s his last time by. Parsons has just been lights out. He has picked up more time on DeGraw. That gap is now right around 6 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, we neglected to mention DeGraw does have some weight as well, 25 kilos or something. But yeah, Moses has really faded the second, part of both of the stints, really late in both of the stints, Watson caught up. So yeah, it could be right. Houston could have brushed the wall or something, but yeah, we saw that in the first stint as well, giving up time. Moses late in the stints.
Yeah, so I talked to Matt. Yeah, he clipped the wall and it killed the engine. And you hit these things just right. That'll happen. And I think the same thing happened to Houston. So he had several retirements. 1, 2, 3, 4 retirements here tonight so far.
Yeah. Yeah, more than any one of those 4 guys would have liked, that's for sure.
What's also impressive about Lemansky's season so far is it's been a while since, and these cars aren't the easiest to drive. It's been a while since we've had a driver on the Monday league as Lemansky approaching some lap traffic. Gets by without issue. But it's been some time since these guys on Monday night, since a driver on Monday night has completed every lap in the competition index.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's gotta tip your cap to Lemansky. I mean, still a number of laps here left to go on this one, but unlikely that he will finish a lap down. So good on him. Can't say the same for the Thursday league. I believe Cuppet is leading that one. He is completing all but 1 lap in the Thursday league. So
yeah, and honestly, that's a pretty tough ask in the car that he's in. That MC12 is not forgiving. So that's actually pretty darn impressive.
That's a little surprising too, because Thursday's usually, I mean, it's a different car this season, different class, but still, usually Thursdays we usually have more guys finishing every lap. Not the case this season.
Moses now going around Brian's story. And Watson does continue to close. Moses, nothing mistake.
Yeah.
Watson continuing to gain ground.
Let's jump on board with Watson.
What a nice run this would end up being for John Watson. He could hang on to a nice top 5 to close the season out with Zahn and Iggy Giorgia right behind in 6th and 7th. What a boost for those guys.
Yeah, Watson, let's see. He had a 4th this season. That was his best. Let's see, Iggy's best result this season was an 11th. So this is it's going to be his best result if he can finish in the position he's in. Zahn, his best result was a 4th. Watson, meanwhile, struggling on throttle. That car is all over the place. It looks like a lot of guys are struggling on throttle here tonight.
Yeah, it looks
except
like
for our leader.
Yeah, they're either struggling with entry understeer or on throttle oversteer. Yeah.
So Jake trying to make some inroads here on Iggy, who's running in 7th. Jake dipping into the 28s last couple times by. Iggy in the 29s. So Jake closing the gap up on Iggy, so we should see a position change here in the near future.
Yeah, you can catch him. You still got to pass him though. I don't know. I got my money on Iggy. I'm feeling it. Yeah. Yeah, Parsons more or less just has been driving away at the front of this event.
Yeah, pretty quiet run for him. From what I can tell, no drama. Going back to the competition index on Thursdays, Omar is in line to win that title. If Cuppet and Taylor end up winning the team championship, so
really,
let's double check that.
No, it's complete. If he hasn't disconnected, then it's totally doable.
No, Omar is in line. So if Cuppet wins the team championship or has some kind of disconnect,
that bet is good, man. It's so consistent.
Omar will take it. So that would be just case in point. The point I was making about the competition index not going to the fastest guy. Omar's best result this season was he finished 8th. Best start was 12th. Only one top 10 this season. So.
Yeah, and Myers just goes a lap down, which, would usually really hurt you in the competition index, but it looks like at this point it's going to him. And he's not having his best night, but he's well and truly off the pace tonight. But still in line for that prize. And it's a big prize. It's a big deal.
Approaching the pit window here around next couple 3 laps or so as Watson with another big moment. Mansky has put some distance between himself and Moses, up to about 3 seconds. That gap, Parsons and DeGraw, that gap has remained pretty static at around 6 seconds.
Oh, Moses, big mistake. In that second sector chicane.
Oh, Watson smelling blood here.
Yeah, the stop's coming for both these guys, but, if you're closing in, if you're really close to a guy, you definitely want to get past before it stops.
Well, we saw Moses struggle a bit there at the end of his first stint, so
yeah,
he might be just driving the tires off that thing.
I think that's exactly what it is. The garage kind of picked up a second out of nowhere on Parsons out front.
Parsons looked like he might have been hung up with some lap traffic. On board with Watson as he has closed that gap up to Chris Moses.
Yeah, if you're Watson or Moses right now, really going to come down to stops here, I think. Final stops could determine your final, running order between those couple guys.
Well, I can tell you what, this result here maybe not. I thought maybe, let's see. So team championship. Parsons, should he go on to win this race, they'll still hang on to that second spot.
Was third place possibly in play?
It was in play, but Not tonight, the way things are going. Rolf into the pits. Quick stop, 12 seconds.
Yeah, and Rolf was first act in the first round.
I was just using all of that inside part of the chicane. You all right?
Oh,
It happens.
well, usually I have push to talk on, but I forgot it tonight.
So expect these guys to come in next lap. David Zahn, however, he stretched it out a little bit. He may pick up some time on Watson and Moses, but I don't think it's going to be enough to take over their positions, but he may close up on those guys. Oh, Jake looks... Oh, wait, did Jake pit? No, I don't think he did. No, I think he just made a mistake and has given up a spot to Kevin Miller. So Kevin Miller now up to 8th.
Yeah, I didn't see Miller was running that close, but he must have been gaining time on Feemster and Iggy.
Let's see what Parsons does here if he elects to come into the pit lane. Story and Carter are close. Jake.
Yeah, last pit stops of season 34 coming up. Kind of tough. The grids have shortened up here toward the end of this season. As short, really, as we've seen them. And I think Jesse and I, by the way, thanks again to Jesse also for helping me out last week. It does tend to shorten up a little bit in summer and then toward the end of season 2.
Oh, oh, oh!
Uh-oh. What's going on?
Oh, Jake and Miller. Jake gets the pass made, but Miller didn't give him much room. Jake nearly clipped the wall. Could have been disastrous for both drivers. Alright, working lap 31. For Parsons to come in here. Let's see, who's in front of Ballweg? Yep, Ballweg comes in. Parsons carrying a boatload of speed. He's in.
Yeah, these guys got to be careful because you can't overshoot and hit the outside wall on the pit lane.
DeGraw in.
So you do have to scrub a little bit of speed before you hit the line.
Let's see, Parsons should get out ahead of Mark. Parsons away. DeGraw picks up some time on that stop.
All right, look, Mansky's keeping it out on track, Al.
Okay, Moses comes in.
Wathen going for another circuit.
Expect Zahn to stay out. See, Moses is away. Zahn's just going to get past. Iggy is in. Jake comes in. Oh, a bunch of guys coming in. Miller comes in. Story in.
Mansky, Wathen, and Zahn all going for at least one extra circuit.
Quick stop for Iggy. Oh, Miller with the same exact time. Let's see how these guys come out in the pits. Oh, Chuck. Chuck is a lap down. Jake beats out Miller. And that Story in the middle as well.
Wathen! Oh my God!
What happened?
Oh, coming into the pits, nearly destroyed the car in front who was slowing up for that chicane. God. Wathen banged the wall coming in on entry.
Mansky stays up.
It was one of the light taps that actually killed, a couple of Houston's wishbone. I mean, he didn't hit the wall much, less hard than that.
He's away.
Yeah, boy, Mansky's still circulating. Ends on. You're right. So yeah, I don't see much need to take a chance with worn tires, but that's what they're doing. I mean, certainly, look, Mansky by now must know that he's good if he just keeps the thing clean, right?
Yeah, I would assume so. All right, this tightens up here between Iggy and Jake. This is for P7.
Yeah, and it was Miller who had just gotten by Feemster before the stops, and so they reversed again that order.
Yeah, both these guys, Iggy and Jake, picking up time on Kevin.
Yeah, that's a fight, and a seventh position for Iggy. I mean, short grid or no? Oh, it looks like good news. Hey, that's way up the field, man. If you're Iggy Chiordia, you want that position. So he's gonna fight for it. You guys, you're gonna have to be careful. I think tried to put the pass on him last season, the last race of the last, I wouldn't want to be trying to pass that guy.
Just ahead of Chris Moses.
Ah, okay.
Ooh, Moses had to take some evasive action there. Oh, Rolf done. Close the chute. All right, Zahn still needs to come in. Mansky shouldn't have to worry about Chris, but I mean, we talked about it. Oh, Moses fighting the car. So we talked about it. I mean, if Moses is all over him, just let him go.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously Kevin has noticed that Moses has slowed up, right? Later on in his stints, and sometimes you don't, the guy's going to continue to have pace. You don't mind letting him pass, but if he's going to slow you up toward the end of your stint, then you do want to try to stay in front. That's understandable.
All right, Zahn is in. So this guy's going to beat Zahn in the pits.
But is Zahn going to
get
off it? Oh no, he's still there.
Yeah, he's away. He's gonna hang on to that sixth position.
Yeah, I guess now I think about it, he was a decent amount of time back from Wappen, right, Zahn? So
now we should mention that if something were to happen to Kevin, trying to keep Chris behind. This is the Graz Championship. He needs 16 points. He's got 20 in the bank right now.
Yep. Look, Mansky's got to survive another 10 laps, and DeGraw's got to hope for another 10 laps.
Got to pick up 14 points on Kevin. Oh, Moses blasts the wall.
Wheel's still holding straight.
Yeah, he lucked out there.
So that's, good.
A little bit of oversteer on exit, and car turned right on him. Well, I'll tell you what, Iggy still keeping Jake behind him. So Iggy doing a great job. We got 10 laps to go before this season is done.
didn't see the hit on the wall, but I can tell you, I was on board with Houston when he hit that same wall, and it was not much of a tap. I tell you, it was only a tap, more or less. Certainly would not have expected to see that type of damage from that small a hit. But same with Taylor, right? I mean, they didn't see what happened, but it certainly didn't seem like Taylor had like smashed anything. It looked more or less like a light tap.
Yeah, I guess it's all in the angle, the way you stuff it in there. Closest battle on track currently, it is between Jake and Iggy. Keeping our eye on Wathen, Moses, and Lemansky up further up. Lemansky with a bit of a gap over Moses at the moment.
Well, if the first two sectors play out like the last one does, then Wathen will definitely have a shot for fourth, I think, by the end of this thing.
Let's see if Jake can get a toe on Iggy here. He's going to have a look. It's going to be advantage Iggy. Jake losing all that momentum through the chicane. Sometimes it's best if you can't get it, just follow the guy through there and try and make a move on him here at the turn one.
Yeah, pretty reasonable. And again, turn one is it's a good dive bomb opportunity, right? Not that that's what you always want to get it done, but if you're close enough and you have a legitimate shot, well, there you go. But yeah, absolutely right. Making that mistake in the final chicane when you're behind somebody and losing all that momentum, yeah.
So I want to take this opportunity while we watch this battle to thank everybody this season who's tuned in, supported the league, really appreciate it. Jake heavy on the brakes, should have a good look on Iggy should he get a good exit. But yeah, it's been a great season. Thanks Brad again for helping out with the broadcast. Jake now on the outside of Iggy. Iggy tucks in behind him. And Jake's going to get the pass made.
That's pretty smart by Iggy there, really, I think. Live to fight another day. Look for an opportunity.
Kevin Miller closing the gap up on Iggy as well. I just think Iggy just doesn't have the pace that Jake and Kevin, who's behind him, have. It's a bit off there.
Yep, agreed.
Moses has closed back up to Lemansky.
Oh, yeah. But what I have noticed... Oh, Iggy going... Oh!
Ooh, yep, gets it wrong. Miller, can he capitalize? He's going to try. Going to have a look on the inside. This is a tough pass to make.
Yeah, of course it was.
Squeaks by, yep.
Yeah, it was Feimster in front, of course, making a bit of a mistake himself. But Iggy he's been very consistent. I've noticed, like very in control of his car and everything. So a little less pace, but I would say definitely more consistency than those guys. I mean, without question. So I mean, who knows? He's got a chance to. I think he's got a reasonable chance to make a repass. Absolutely right. Moses not quite out of fight yet.
No, he's not, with just about 7 laps to go. He's pushing Kevin, but and Moses understands what's going on here, and he's not going to do anything out of the ordinary. Let's see what Kevin Miller can do here now that he's gotten back past Iggy. He's closed up on Jake. for the 7th spot. The gap out front now between Parsons and DeGraw is nearly 10 seconds, so Parsons cruising.
Teamster, bit of a mistake on throttle.
Parsons cruising to what should be his 3rd win this season. DNF at Kyalami, bad race at Interlagos, really hurting Parsons' chances.
That team, Parsons and that team, him and Houston got it together late. There's no question about it. Just was not in time to recover from that dismal start.
So Lemansky and Moses making their way through some lap traffic. Taylor finishing every race this season, except the most important one as Kevin Miller throws it off on throttle. That's going to give Iggy his spot back.
I suspected that was a possibility.
Well, Watson now closing up on Moses and Lemansky.
Yeah, no, he's been there. He's been lurking, just a couple seconds back from Moses this whole time.
Look how Moses desperate to finish on the podium. I think nice finish to his season. It's been a tough one for him. We mentioned that.
Yeah, Moses still outside the top 10 in points. One podium at the first race at Interlagos for Moses.
Right at the start of Monza, taken out at turn 1. That's some bad luck for sure. But, those things do happen.
Yep. I could see, I didn't get a chance to drive the car around here a bunch, but it is really difficult to get it going from a low revs. So the gearing is so tricky around the place of this car.
Moses taps the wall again.
Yeah, 40 kilos for Lekmansky, and I wonder if maybe Moses is not being, super extra careful.
I'm assuming he is. But,
yeah.
But I think if he sees an opportunity there, he may. I mean, if he gets a run on him exiting, he's close, he gets a run on him exiting a hairpin, certainly he'll use the draft to try and get past him, but...
Yeah. VOD, Jessup. Oh, sorry, Al.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying video on demand, because a lot of action early.
Closest battle at the moment, it is these two, Moses and Lemansky. Lemansky right now would be your driver's champion here for Monday night, season 34. Remember earlier this season, after he took his first win, we were asking him, is this going to be your, you're in it? He was just brushing it off. Yeah, I don't think so. And look where he is now.
Yep, that's right. Shouldn't have been brushing it off. it was. I don't think it was an out. I mean, you only needed 2 positions on Taylor, but when you're talking about Matt Taylor, it's a tough guy to take championships away from. So I mean, I personally wasn't really expecting it, but yeah, Taylor tags a wall and cripples the car, and there you go. And hey, Lukmansky's put in plenty of good runs. He's totally deserving of it. So, I mean, badass. Couple laps to go. Got to keep it clean for a couple more laps, but it's there in front of him now.
Let's see, Watson. Look at Watson now. Oh, this is certainly what Lemansky wants to see for sure. Get Moses off his rear as Watson now pulls it up on Chris. This is about the point where the car really starts going away from Moses. So,
it's what Watson wanted to see too. I mean, if you're Watson again, like, you really have nothing to lose, right? I mean,
oh, he nearly gets into the back of Moses. And
I think he was going for a dive bomb there. Which, I mean,
that would have probably, yeah, that wouldn't have been good.
I mean, you know, the competition committee, you know, how rough are they going to be with you the last race? I mean, you have to do something really stupid for like a penalty to carry over, right? So, yeah, maybe you do take a couple stupid chances. I think he used up his stupid chances right there, but.
Oh, Moses gets it wrong through the chicane, and Watson gets past. Yeah, we talked about it. That was, the car gets difficult with Moses there his last couple laps of his stints. But that's giving Lemansky a cushion, and it should seal the deal for him here. Definitely would rather see Moses behind him than Watson, that's for damn sure. But I don't think Watson's going to get close enough. See if Moses returns. Look at Watson defending on the inside.
Yeah.
See, Watson outbrakes himself going into one. Moses on the outside. Oh, Watson gets it sideways. Oh, Moses could get a run here on him. A lot of passing opportunities at this place.
Sure, and plenty of drafting down the big back straight, right? Yeah, he's definitely picking up a big draft.
See, Parsons about to start the final lap here at Montreal with a 12-second lead over Marc DeGras in second. Marc did everything he possibly could. Lemansky running in third and should come away with this one.
You know, that's absolutely right. Marc DeGras did do everything that he possibly could. That was a really great run for him with the 25 kilos. Couldn't really have expected to have a better race. It just doesn't look like it's going to fall his way.
Moses may get one more shot here on Watson at the end.
Man, gonna have to survive that chicane in the second sector. I mean, he's looking so brutal through there. Can't hardly stand to watch him. He's on that part of the track. Moses, of course, taking over some of the broadcasting duties occasionally there on Thursday. Check it, it's a little unique. So it's worth a view if you haven't seen it yet.
Oh yeah. Meanwhile, Parsons coming through the chicane for the final time. Tiptoes his way through, and he's going to take the win here at Montreal. What a great performance by him. Marc DeGras with an excellent drive. not enough, falling just short of his first Drivers' Championship. Kevin Lemansky. Oh, nothing now. Looks like Moses is going to be close enough. But it's going to be Kevin Lemansky. Unlikeliest of drivers' champions here on Monday night. Going through the chicane for the last time to finish third and ultimately take the drivers' championship here on Monday nights. What a phenomenal season for Kevin. Lawton finishes in fourth. Chris Moses takes fifth. David Zahn a nice run. Didn't really talk about him after the final stop, but he's going to come home in sixth. And Jake Beamster, your last car on the lead lap. And man, Gregory Myers, who'd have thought he could take the competition index, but he does. Oh, that's a cut for Jake. Jake's going to come home in seventh. Let's talk to our race winner real quick here. And then we'll talk to our drivers' champion. Aaron Parsons, you copy. Hold on, very loud. Hey, congratulations on the win here tonight. Just really great drive from qualifying all the way through to the race. You really set a nice gap there in the first stint, and just gradually started pulling away. It seemed like Brad suggested you might have more in the car, but looked pretty comfortable out there.
Yeah, from my first practice at this track, I really focused on getting the gearing perfect for every corner. And ever since I figured that out, I had good pace in practice and good pace in qualifying. And at the start of the race, I took less fuel, and that let me establish a gap in the first stint. And then Mark kind of held it steady in the second stint. So it kept me honest in the second stint. And just had to focus on not making mistakes, not touching the wall, and destroying the car.
Yeah, there's a lot of strengths to this car, but one of them really is not accelerating from low revolutions. And I was kind of remarking some of my recon laps around here that the gearing, you come out of the corners with too low a rev, and holy cow, it just doesn't go anywhere. But nonetheless, hey, good. Look, it was a good last half of the season for you. Last 2/3, I guess. Just came up, just couldn't quite recover from what was otherwise a pretty dismal start of the season. But, I mean, overall, your thoughts on the season? Turned out to, you had some very decent highlights for you. How'd the season 34 go for you overall?
Yeah, a pretty bad start, like you said. First couple of races, I actually kind of hated the car. I couldn't understand how to drive the car at all. First two races, and then picked up a DNF in the second race. So terrible start to the season, but as the season went on, I got to know the car a lot better, especially when we went to Laguna Seca and we went for the high downforce. It was so much nicer to drive on. Nice season.
Well, congratulations, Ezra, on the win. I'm going to cut it short there when I get our championship, drivers' champion winner on here. But great job tonight, man. Excellent run.
Thanks, Al. Thanks, Brad.
Kevin Lemansky, do you copy?
I'm scared.
What an unbelievable result to this season. You were all ho-hum about it when you won your first race. Where was it? Back at Brands Hatch. Didn't really think about you didn't really think you'd be in this position at the end of the season, but you were having some great results and you got that win. And man, some bad luck for Matt, but still, I mean, you were in position to when you had Moses behind you. Matt was behind Chris, and he was still in position to win the championship at that point. So, um, I mean, talk us through it. I mean, what a great season you had.
Well, yeah, I didn't really had no qualms or had no bad word, but no thoughts of winning anything this season. I just went into it. We had a little race team alliance with a couple of teams that we shared setups and strategies and threw ideas around, and I think it was a lot more fun this season doing that. We practiced a lot more, and I think the end results showed. Even after the win at Brands Hatch, I really didn't have any thoughts of winning anything. But yeah, as I guess it's the last three races, I gained a lot of ground, and I was as Brad picked on me last week. I was a little sad that I didn't even get the points lead after last week, but going into this race, I was nervous. Wasn't sure what was going to happen. I wasn't sure what strategies were. It was possible to do a one stop on soft, but it was scary. I wasn't sure if someone was going to try that or not. Matt fought me really hard, as he should have, in the beginning of the race. And I guess he had an issue. Um, and then Moses, he was behind me for a while, but I think he was nice enough to kind of let me go. I could have let him go. I wasn't sure. I had a couple guys in the channel doing math for me, how far back I could fall. I wasn't sure, but I was just trying to keep pace. If he was able to get by me, I would have let him go. But after the one time he tried to pass, but
Yeah, we
feel like it
kind
was gifted a little bit. But I'm super happy in regardless.
yeah we kind
Well,
of suspected that was going on when you weren't letting
Yeah,
Moses pass.
he had pace on me for sure. If I put perfect laps together, we were about even, but that obviously wasn't necessarily happening. It was very hot down here, and it's just the one time. I don't know if you guys were. I think you were watching when I blew the chicane. I was just daydreaming, and I missed my breaking point. I was like, oh, I guess I'm cutting this time.
yeah. So is there's pretty clear delineation between the first half of the season and the second half, right? Picked up a couple podiums in there, gained a lot of confidence, and then boom, from that first win, then you pick up a couple wins, and you're off and running. So congratulations on your championship. Now, looking forward, you got Feemster out there. He's got plenty of quickness. Next season, are you thinking about both? I mean, why not, right?
Well, we went into it thinking team-wise, but Jake had some issues this year, not all of his own making, but he had some consistency issues, and we picked on him pretty hard about that. And we still do. And but if we get him to race a little better and not run into things, congratulations for him today, not running into anything. I think he finished seventh. But yeah, where did we end up team-wise? Third?
Third, yeah, I fall just
Yeah,
short
so
of.
that's the best.
Yeah.
That's the best we've ever finished on any team. So I think we're probably going to stick together with the teams that we have and whatever car we have. I mean, this car fit me real well once we kind of figured the setup out and what to do with it and what it liked. It liked my style, and some of the tracks obviously are my style. This one, I don't know why I'm fairly good at it, but I've always been fairly good at it. It doesn't necessarily check all my boxes of tracks I enjoy, but for some reason I've always had decent pace here.
Well, again, big congratulations. It was a pretty impressive season, and however you earn it, you know, you don't complain. Just just be happy you got it, and look forward to see how you do going forward from here. That's
No, it's
awesome job, man.
definitely, regardless of the result, definitely a fun season. I think it was, regardless of how I finished, whatever, the whole combination was really fun, and I think most people down the paddock enjoyed it. So it was a lot of fun.
Well, great job, Kevin, again, and thanks again for all your help with the tracks and all that stuff. Really
Oh, no problem.
appreciate it. All right, well, there you have Kevin. What a phenomenal job by him this season. Let's see if we can bring Mark in here. Mark DeGraw, do you copy?
Hello.
Hey, Mark. It's Alan Brad here in the booth. Hey, congratulations on the team championship. You really drove a great run tonight. Did everything you needed to do, but fell just short of the drivers championship. Got your first win. Really unlucky night for your teammate for sure, but overall, your season as a team and your run towards the championship. What were your thoughts like?
Just consistency. Wanted to keep getting, top fives, or throughout the season, I find myself getting, quite a few more podiums than I usually do, and so my target was podiums every race, and had to pick it up, push hard for the last three races, and yeah, I knew at the end of that race there, I wasn't going to catch Aaron. He was just too fast, so I sort of let off a little bit and finished the race. But that was pretty awesome. Those cars are great to drive.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, Mark.
Oh,
I mean, no, I was going through the points, and it really was kind of a stupidly remarkable run of podiums for you. I think you have more podiums than anybody, and so you say that was a focus. I mean, did you think about that going into this season? And like, did you from like last season? Were you thinking, well, this is my game plan going forward? Because that's really, I mean, it got a tremendous amount of podiums, like unbelievable amount.
yeah. I mean, once you get in the top five regularly, you got a good chance. So you start working harder and going after it, and then all of a sudden you're in it. And yeah, it's too bad to see that Matt got. I don't know what happened to him, but yeah, it was really close. What a battle this season with all the points. Everybody was, battling hard. It was pretty cool to see.
So how'd you guys work together this season? I mean, were you guys did you guys do your own thing, or did you guys collaborate a lot, or and
Yeah, we did.
going into tonight, were you guys were you prepared to help him, or what was?
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we helped each other out through the whole season. He's, I worked hard at doing what I could. I think when it comes down to the technical part of the setups, yeah, I know he's better, and I appreciate the help that he's given me for with the setups, because there's some areas that I'm just not so good at. But with gearing and some of the basic things, I'm good at. Working hard to make sure I sort of pull my weight and pitch in where I can. So yeah, it's good to get a good result. Although yeah, it would have been nice to win.
All right. Well, congratulations, Mark, and both you and
Thanks,
your
Al.
teammate Matt for a great season. You guys really smashed the field in terms of the team championship, but um, you're right there. You'll be right there next season, I'm sure. So, good luck. And
Yeah, thanks, Al. Thanks, bud.
congratulations on
Appreciate
your
it.
first win. I know we didn't have it on the broadcast, but
Yeah, that
unfortunate
was
for you.
unlucky.
Same thing happened to your teammate
Yeah.
when he got his first win. So maybe it's infectious. Who knows? But nonetheless, great job this season, and we'll see you. Look forward to seeing you next season.
Yeah, thanks again, guys.
All right.
Yeah,
Let's
I
see.
forgot about that. That's at Spa, right?
Yeah. No. Zandvoort took
Was it
the.
Zandvoort?
Yeah. All right. Watch this. Yeah. Greg Myers, do you copy?
Yo,
Al and Brad in the broadcast booth. Do you know why we have you in here?
I think it's because a miracle happened.
Yeah, you are the winner of the competition index for season 34. How's
I
that
can't
make you
believe it.
feel? How's that make you feel, right?
I feel pretty good, actually. It was a great season. I finished every race, finished in the points every single race. I think I'm 10th in the standings. Shout out to John Wathen, who absolutely smashed me because I was trying to beat him for ninth. But anyway, I can't believe it. I'm pretty
Well,
happy.
yeah, you definitely luck was on your side tonight for sure. You got Houston and Ekman going out. Lemansky won the championship, so he doesn't get it. So and Taylor and DeGraw, all those guys ahead of you, they got the team championship. You were next in line, buddy. So congratulations.
Thanks, Al. I appreciate it.
All right.
And I'm sorry, I just gotta mention real quick myself. You're absolutely right. Points in every single race, and you won the competition index, and this was really one of your worst races this season.
Yeah, this is my first track, so I really wasn't looking forward to this track. So I'm also happy to get 10th tonight.
Yeah. Hey,
Saying
hey,
that.
congrats, man. Great season. Good run.
Thanks, Brad.
Great job, Greg.
Appreciate that.
All right. Well, that's gonna do it for us here tonight this season. It was a really great season. The points were really close, both well for the team championship for a little while, and that kind of separated with the Captain Clutch guys. But the Drivers' Championship was super close, up right to the end. So that was great. Great to watch. Um, and it's just, these guys, it's amazing how one little mistake or something early in the season can have an effect overall in the grand scheme of things in terms of vying for a drivers championship. You look back at certain races and you think, man, if I didn't screw up here or make this mistake, I would have finished here. And that's why these guys just keep pushing every week, put the result behind them, and keep going. And
You truly do have to get lucky as well as to be pretty good week in and week out.
Yep.
And so it does take a mixture.
But no, it was a great season overall, and it was fun to broadcast. So hopefully you guys all enjoyed it. We're going to be back on Thursday night for the finale for the Thursday League and the GT1 cars at Bahrain. That's also, I think it's even tighter in that league in terms of the teams and the Drivers' Championship, all up for grabs at the moment. So that's going to be another fun one as well. So tune in for that. Chris Moses is going to have the broadcast with Jack. And until then, we are off for a little while, maybe, I don't know, a month or so. And then we'll be back for season 35. So thanks, everybody who's tuned in throughout the season, who've supported us and all that good stuff. So thanks again. Congratulations to all the winners. And thank you, Brad, for your help this season with the broadcast. Really appreciate it.
You got it.
All right, everybody. Have a great night, and we'll see you soon. Remember, North American Grand Prix, NorthAmericanGP.com if you want to race. Come give us a visit. We're on Discord, all that good stuff. That's it. We're out. Have a good one. Bye-bye.